Greetings, I'm the Rain of Horror, and I'm back with the video I promised for my next thoughts on movies, Godzilla 2014. I'm saying that, including the year, because there exist 3 movies that has the same title. There is the original Godzilla, though that can also be called Godzilla King of the Monsters. There is the first American version from 1997, which had nothing to do with Godzilla, so really one should just call it Zilla, because that's what Toho did. And then there's this movie. Now, I have to admit, when I walked into this movie, I had the lowest expectations in the world. I looked at the trailers and I thought that this movie is going to suck. Even though they have the actual Godzilla in it, with the roar, the atomic breath and everything, I knew this was not going to be good. And I was, well, my impressions were a lot different. Of course, I would like to put a spoiler alert here, because I'm probably going to talk about a few scenes that really left an impression on that happened at the end of the movie. So if you're interested in watching this movie without spoilers, I suggest clicking on a different video, even if somehow you are watching this video. Now then, as for my thoughts, at first I was a little skeptical. They started off by showing Godzilla being the target of nuclear bombs, and then we cut over to the humans, and already I'm scared. If there's one thing you shouldn't do in a Godzilla movie, it's put too much focus on the humans. They should be in focus, but they shouldn't be the main focus. It should be on Godzilla, and if he fights a monster, that too. And they put a lot of emphasis on, but thankfully what they're doing is that they put a lot of emphasis on these new monsters. Mutos, I believe their name are. Basically, if any of you saw the trailers and saw a big claw, hook-like hand stomping down, it pretty much confirmed that there are other monsters in this movie, not just Godzilla. And therefore, I was already interested. Because if there's one thing I love in a Godzilla movie, it's monster battles. It's basically why I would watch a Godzilla movie. The battles between the monsters. The king of the monster versus whatever monster might threaten his crown. Now, I'm not the hugest Godzilla fan, but I know enough about the franchise to know what I love about it. Now, they also advertised a lot this man who I have seen him in other roles, but I am not too familiar with his work as being the main character of the story. Even though most of the focus is on his son, because he is in the first part of the movie, and then he dies after the first Muto is released. I could say this: the Mutos are interesting looking creatures. I like the difference between the male and female version, because there are 2 of them in this movie. There's one that can fly. And there is one that's bigger but can't fly. That's the female. And I was really looking forward to seeing this battle. And then Godzilla arrived. We didn't see him for a long while. We just saw ominously that he was coming. But one of my favorite scenes from this movie was to see him. It was the revealing shot. They lifted the camera up towards him, onto his face, and he roared his trademark roar. And I thought, oh, this is gonna be good. And they cut back to the humans. Yeah, I should probably address the humans in this movie. The father, that's just what I'm gonna call, I think her name are Brody, so, and I think I remember the kid, remember the main person's name, so, you have father, you have Brody, the father, who, he's an interesting character in the sense that he is tormented by the loss of his wife because of the release of these mutos, but we don't really get to know him all that much because he dies early in the movie. And then we also get a little bit into a Japanese man. I'm not sure what his name is, something Savagat or something. Who basically has more knowledge on Godzilla as he was involved with the test bombings that was actually meant to try and destroy Godzilla. And most of the other humans are kind of forgettable. And then there is Ford Brody. Ford and his family are featured prominently, and I thought that they were kind of forgettable, if I'm gonna be brutally honest. They weren't bad characters, it's just they weren't really that memorable. And I know the focus should be on Godzilla and the monsters he fight, but I gotta say that if they're going to advertise, if they're going to put humans in a large part of the movie, as Ford takes up a lot of screen time, I would like to have a little bit more of an interesting character than, well, he's kind of bland in a sense. Say it like that. So is the rest of his family too. But enough about the humans for now. Let's talk about what you all want to know. Is there a fight in the movie between the Mutos and Godzilla? I can tell you right about now that yes. Yes, there is. At the very end of the movie. Because in two instances, we see Godzilla engage the male Muto. And they're about to fight, and we see a brief engagement of it away in a distant area, whether it be watching it on TV, or one of the characters watching it on TV, or looking at it through glass. And then we immediately cut to the army. I gotta say, that wasn't exactly something I liked. It felt more like cock tease. And I know they were trying to build up the huge battle, but I would have liked something, you know, to see a little bit of the battle in full. And also something that bothers me is that at the end of the movie they hatch a plan. They're gonna try to get Godzilla and the two Mutos in the same place and then drop a nuke at them, a very strong one. And they put a lot of effort on this nuke, even though it's very, very obvious it's not going to work. And they put a lot of screen time on a lot of emphasis. And in the end of the movie, it doesn't do anything. They put it on a boat and it's shipped off and it explodes away from the civilization and away from the monsters. Now, if I can say one thing about the roles of the humans, is that they are portrayed exactly how they should be. In a Godzilla movie, humans are supposed to try and defend the Earth, but eventually has to realize that their efforts are their efforts are, well, insufficient, are worthless, as the monsters are capable of taking a lot of punishment and won't be destroyed easily, or at all, perhaps. For me, if in a Godzilla movie a monster has to be destroyed by Godzilla, or has to be destroyed by an opposing monster. Like, if you want Godzilla to die or lose, you're gonna have to use a monster to fight him. Nothing else will be allowed. Now then, let's address the big thing. The fight at the end. Godzilla versus the two Mutos. I gotta say, it's a good fight. I will admit, I will say that. It's a very good fight. They put a lot of emphasis on. They put a lot of good cinematics into it. And I do like a lot of the special works that they do. Special effects that they put into it. Oh, I just remembered, there's one other thing about the humans that I did think was a good idea. And that was that the human, Ford, realized that there is one thing that humans can do. Because since we have a male and a female Muto, they try to reproduce, and the female produces a lot of eggs. Ford decides to destroy the eggs and using gasoline tanks, which I thought was a good idea to use for humans. At least they're doing something, but they're leaving the heavy task to Godzilla, because that's the point. But anyway, the fight is going pretty good. It's pretty well done and all that. But we get a few extremely awesome moments in this fight. First awesome moment is this. As one of the Mutos are trying to attack the humans, Godzilla lifts his tail and we see a blue glow on it. It flows through his body all the way up to his head. He throws back and fires the atomic breath. Holy crap, I was so damn excited when I saw that. That was amazing. It was an amazing moment for me because it looked amazing and it felt incredible. Next awesome moment was when he fights the male Muto, and to finish him off, he takes his tail and slams him into a building where he's impaled by certain parts of the building and killed. That's a nice way to finish off one of them. But then we get to the female Muto, and then we have another awesome one. After he destroys that, a building falls over Godzilla and buries him. Next, the female Muto traces down Ford as he's about to get rid of the nuke, and she's about to destroy him, but before she can reach him, she stops in her tracks, and we see Godzilla has bitten her neck behind. They fight for a brief moment. Godzilla grabs her by the mouth and fires the atomic breath down her throat and destroys her throat, leaving the head holding the head. He holds the head in his hand and uses his trademark roar. Oh, good grief, that was amazing. Just the sheer power of the atomic breath used in a clever destruction of the female Muto, putting an end to her. Next, we also have a few things that were a bit weird. At first. We see that Godzilla basically falls, and we're supposed to believe that he's dead. However, and Ford survives, and he comes to the end with his son. He's reunited with his wife, and all that. But before that, they come to the side of Godzilla laying there. But it turns out he was just resting. As he gets up, and most of the crowd have a smile on their face. And this really helped as an ending. On the news flash, they show Godzilla and they say, "King of the monsters, city savior." This is exactly what you needed to do here. You shouldn't put the emphasis on Ford as the man who saved the city. He didn't. It was Godzilla. He might have helped him a little bit when he was attacked by both the Mutos at the same time, and he destroyed the eggs to distract the female Muto. However, I'm pretty sure Godzilla could have gotten up from that and fought back. And then Godzilla goes back to the ocean, dives under, the sea goes still, and cut the credits. No more of the humans. We end on Godzilla. Excellent. Absolutely excellent ending. Now, to the big question. Do I like this movie? I'd say that. Yes, I do like this movie. I think it's a good movie. And I would indeed... say that I would give it. I would encourage people to at least take a look at it and see if you are enjoying it. If you really just want the monster fights, I suggest you wait until maybe it comes up on YouTube, or you can go to or you can buy the DVD and skip ahead to the ending. It's a good fight, and I would. Is this a movie I would recognize as a good Godzilla movie? I would say yes. I think it's better than a few of the bad Godzilla movies indeed. Is it one of the best? Nah, probably not. As the fight between Godzilla and the Mutos are kind of shifty with the humans and everything. I have not seen most of the Godzilla movies, but I'm pretty sure that this one can be ranked as a good one. I haven't seen any reviews of it yet, and so they're probably going to come later. But what I will say is that I've heard rumors about a sequel, and if they have a sequel, I would love to see them bring in a famous monster from this franchise. You know, someone like his arch nemesis King Ghidorah, some of his other enemies. You know, you could bring in the first monster he fought, like Anguirus, or you could have my favorites fight. And even though I know that's a little bit too early if they're going to make this a franchise or anything, but I still want to see this fight on the big screen with that kind of production. This new Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I want that to happen. Well, you're probably not going to hear from me for a while until certain events happen. I know E3 is coming up in... is it June? I'm not entirely sure. Well, when E3 comes up, you're probably gonna see some impression video from that, like I did last year. Other than that, I'm probably not gonna have anything to talk about for a while. I haven't seen any movies that are particularly intriguing, so I'll leave it with that. I wouldn't suggest going to see this Godzilla movie. Love it or hate it, I think it's a good movie. But that's my opinion. I'm the Reign of Horror, and long live the King of the Monsters.